Welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. Stay informed with quick, easy-to-listen summaries of our latest articles, perfect for when you're on the go. No reading required. Subscribe for free at mercola.com for the latest health insights.
If I told you that staying inside a narrow magnesium range could make your brain appear nearly a year younger on scans, would you rethink the way you supplement and eat today? Welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. I'm Ethan Foster, joined by Alara Sky, and together we'll examine why both low and high magnesium push dementia risk up, while the sweet spot keeps your neurons firing smoothly.
Thanks, Ethan. We'll walk you through research that pooled 3 clinical trials and 12 cohort studies. The key takeaway is a U-shaped curve. Levels below or above roughly 0.85 millimoles per liter raise cognitive decline risk by 43% and 30%, respectively.
That curve tells you magnesium is less about more is better and more about precision. Falling short leaves neurons inflamed and overstimulated. Overshooting disrupts mineral balance and vascular tone, also harming memory over time.
People whose serum magnesium stayed between 0.75 and 0.95 millimoles per liter enjoyed the lowest dementia risk. Inside that band, magnesium fortifies your blood-brain barrier, preserves myelin for fast signal conduction, and tempers calcium spikes that exhaust neurons.
Imaging backs this up. In 1,466 adults, higher serum magnesium predicted larger total brain volume, plus 56% the fewer silent microinfarcts. That structural advantage directly supports faster processing speed and clearer recall in day-to-day tasks.
A separate European Journal of Nutrition analysis scanned 6,001 participants aged 40 to 73. Those consuming about 550 milligrams daily had hippocampi and gray matter that looked almost 1 year younger. They also showed fewer white matter lesions, mini injuries tied to memory lapses.
Crucially, these benefits weren't explained by blood pressure changes. Researchers found the protection came from anti-inflammatory and neurosupportive actions inside the brain itself, not from cardiovascular shifts.
And lifetime patterns mattered. Participants who maintained high magnesium from early adulthood locked in brain resilience, even if their intake dipped modestly later. That underscores why you should focus on consistent habits, not quick fixes.
Magnesium also teams up with vitamin D. In NHANES data on 2,508 adults 60 and older, cognitive scores climbed the most when high magnesium paired with vitamin D at or above 20 nanograms per milliliter. Dr. Mercola aims higher, 60 to 80 nanograms per milliliter for full synergy.
The partnership is two-way. Vitamin D boosts magnesium absorption in your gut, while magnesium activates vitamin D inside cells. Add vitamin K2, and studies show you need up to 244% less supplemental vitamin D to reach optimal blood levels.
Let's connect this to everyday shortcomings. Industrial agriculture has stripped soils of minerals, leaving produce with fractions of past magnesium content. Even when you consume plenty, only 30 to 40% absorbs, and stress hormones or digestive disorders reduce that even more.
Signs of deficiency, brain fog, restless sleep, low mood, often masquerade as normal aging. Standard blood tests may miss tissue shortages, so track symptoms and tally intake instead of leaning solely on lab slips.
Many lists highlight almonds or pumpkin seeds for magnesium, yet the article warns against relying on nuts and seeds because they're high in linoleic acid, a fat that stresses mitochondria and fans inflammation.
Instead, base your intake on leafy greens and low-LA vegetables, then close the gap with supplements. Magnesium glycinate calms your nervous system for deeper sleep, while magnesium malate supports cellular energy if mental fatigue dogs you.
Dr. Mercola discourages magnesium oxide because it mostly passes through unabsorbed. First, discover your saturation point by slowly raising magnesium citrate until stools soften slightly. Then scale back and switch to glycinate or malate long-term.
Most adults settle at 400 milligrams or more. Remember, supplementation is a foundation. Pair it with daily walking, sunlight for vitamin D synthesis, varied whole foods, and deliberate stress reduction to let neurons fully capitalize on that mineral support.
Let's tackle mechanisms in plain language. Magnesium dampens inflammatory cytokines, stabilizes electrical activity, and keeps blood vessels supple, Those effects limit oxidative stress that otherwise chips away at memory and focus year after year.
It also protects the microvasculature feeding deep brain regions. When magnesium is low, clotting factors climb and tiny vessels constrict, paving the way for silent strokes. Keeping levels steady wards off that silent tissue loss.
On the cellular level, magnesium counterbalances calcium inside synapses. Without enough magnesium, excess calcium pours in, overexcites neurons, and accelerates cell death, a pathway seen in Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative diseases.
Animal studies mirror these outcomes, showing magnesium boosts brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein that supports synaptic plasticity. Higher BDNF means easier learning and better retention of new information throughout adulthood.
You might ask, can I just take a multivitamin and be done? Multis often contain magnesium oxide in tiny amounts, far below the therapeutic threshold. Relying on one pill rarely delivers the 400+ milligrams most adults require.
Another common question: if both extremes are risky, how do I avoid overshooting? Follow the bowel tolerance test with citrate, then monitor cognitive cues, clarity on waking, ease recalling names, steady mood. If brain function slides, reassess dosage.
Can diet alone ever suffice? In theory, yes, but you'd need large servings of magnesium-rich vegetables grown in mineral-dense soil and virtually perfect gut absorption. Given modern realities, targeted supplementation is the reliable route for brain protection.
One more. When should I take magnesium? Glycinate works well before bed for relaxation. Malate is helpful with breakfast to support daytime energy. Split doses if you experience gastrointestinal discomfort.
Let's summarize actionable steps. First, test your current intake. Log meals and supplements for 3 days, calculate milligrams, and see if you reach or exceed 400.
Second, verify vitamin D status with a 25-hydroxy blood test. Aim for 60 to 80 nanograms per milliliter, and add vitamin K2 so you can use lower vitamin D doses efficiently.
Third, choose magnesium glycinate or malate. Start around 200 milligrams and increase weekly until you approach bowel tolerance, then drop just below.
Fourth, replace nut-based snacks with sautéed leafy greens or mineral-rich vegetables to avoid excess linoleic acid while still supporting magnesium goals.
Fifth, reinforce gains with daily movement, quality sleep, and light exposure. These habits lower stress hormones that otherwise drain magnesium and accelerate brain aging.
Your practical challenge: today, write down one meal swap and one supplement adjustment to push your magnesium intake toward that 400+ milligram goal. Implement both within 24 hours, and you'll start steering your serum level into the cognitive sweet spot.
Thank you for watching Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe now and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.